So, let me start by saying good morning to each of you. And as usual, I want to start where we always should, and that is acknowledgement for members of the Parker administration who've played an integral role in helping us get where we are on today. Of course, there's our Chief of Staff, Tiffany Thurman, Chief Deputy Mayor Sincere Harris, and Chief Deputy Mayor Vanessa Garrett Harley. Give the big three a round of applause. Thank you. Deputy Mayor Sincere Harris's labor negotiating team that she relied on while we were getting through this process. You've heard Chief Deputy Mayor Vanessa Garrett Harley, who many of you know as the lawyer who has an amount of institutional knowledge as it relates to children and youth and just the city of Philadelphia overall because of her longevity here and, quite frankly, the respect that she has earned over the years. So I want to say thank you for serving as our subject matter expert, particularly as it relates to 47. And to Kyra, she is not here. Give her a round of applause. I wanted to fill it. Thank you. To Lauren Fox, Chris Godfrey, the Office of Labor, Denise Studevan, the Office of Labor, and then our Camille Duchasse, our CAA. Where's Camille? I just like saying your name, Camille, your last name. And to Candy Jones, our Director of HR, who is about to have, again, the smartest baby in the whole wide world. Where's Palak, our health Palak? Thank you for everything. Our health commissioner, and Von Monalazzi. Monalazzi? Did we say it right? Where's Monalazzi? What are you doing? From DHS, thank you for everything that you added to our efforts. Danielle Henderson from the Free Library. Is Danielle here? Rob DeBow from our Finance Department. Kat Lamb from Finance. And Sabrina Maynard from Budget. Where's Kat? Where's Kat? Come here, Kat! Thank you. We did miss you the last time. I miss you too. So thank you so much. And then there's Harry Hansen from Finance. Harry. Thank you. And Lisa from Laws. Lisa here. Lisa and Megan Malone. Lisa, thank you. And there were so many other city officials who were working around the clock to keep our city safe and ensure that we were getting through this moment with the professional expertise and, quite frankly, the technical assistance that you need to serve as the foundation of all negotiations. With that being said, I want to say good morning to each of you. You know, based on the statement that we posted on social media, that the good news that we are sharing for the dedicated men and women of AFSCME District Council 47 and for the people of Philadelphia is that the City of Philadelphia Parker administration has reached a tentative agreement with District Council 47 on a 3-year contract that once and if approved by the union's membership, coupled with the 1-year contract extension that we agreed to last November, will increase District Council 47 members' pay by 13.5% over my first 4 years in office. This is another very significant investment in our employees while at the same time ensuring that the city of Philadelphia is living within its means. I want to start where you've heard me. Some people have heard me say this on multiple occasions, but it is very important for the benefit of residents of the city of Philadelphia, that I am an unapologetically proud pro-labor, pro-union, and pro-worker mayor, and I always will be. Unionized workforce means a great deal. Negotiations are what occurs to ensure that we do the best that we can to ensure that our workforce receives a fair wage and, quite frankly, additional supports that are included in the overall package for our employees. So to the men and women of District Council 47, I want you to hear this in a very meaningful way. Your city values you and the work that you do every day for our residents. And it is not enough for me as mayor of the city of Philadelphia to simply say that the city values you and you don't see it, the economic benefit of that value. With that being said, I want to affirm that from the 5% raise that you received in the one-year contract extension last November, that extension ended on June the 30th, to the 8.5% pay increases included in the tentative 3-year agreement reached on Tuesday. I have always sought to balance valuing the men and women of District Council 47 for the important work that they do and protecting the fiscal stability of the city of Philadelphia. With that being said, I have to just say this for the record. When we talk about that delicate balance, I've learned a lesson throughout all of what we have experienced Philadelphia. And that is that when we use the term fiscal stability, it may not have as much meaning, particularly for officials who didn't have a nickel in the quarter to help us get there. It's like having sweat equity in something that you achieve in your own life. When you have blood, sweat, and tears invested in the labor, invested in the effort to put the city of Philadelphia on sound fiscal footing, it matters to you a great deal. And so with that being said, I want to say to the men and women of District Council 47 who show up for work every day to care for our most vulnerable children, to provide recreational activities for our young people, to provide the library services to our residents, to deliver vital health care for our residents, and to perform a wide range of other duties. I want you to know that you are seen and you are valued, and in this contract agreement that is being proposed for your consideration, it reflects that the city of Philadelphia values you. To the residents of the city, I know the last several weeks have been very long ones for all of us. From the 8-day strike by AFSCME District Council 33, which left our city grappling with trash in too many neighborhoods. These days and weeks, they haven't been easy for any of us, including you, the residents and the taxpayers of our great city. I can only tell you, and it's important to me that I acknowledge that there were a whole lot of city workers who worked tirelessly and around the clock all week, day in and day out, to ensure that we were providing you with the essential city services that you deserve and that you rely on. With that being said, I want to pivot just a bit because I got about 2 questions when I was actually coming in the building about trash. And I said, well, wait, I'm about to go talk about DC47's contract. They were concerned about trash, so let me just pivot for a second. I do want you to know that the city has resumed regular trash collections, curbside trash collections on Monday of this week. I'm going to ask you, Philadelphia, to please be patient with our city workforce, and let's be grateful for them too. Can we give them a round of applause since they're back? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. They are back on the job, and we welcome them back with open arms. Now, I want to get back here to District Council 47. Last year, we had the 5% pay raise that we agreed to that ended again June 30th, 25. The first year of the tentative agreement includes a 2.5% pay increase plus a $1,250 bonus. So that's the first year, 2.5, $1,250 bonus. The second year, there is a 3% pay increase. And the third year, there is a 3% pay increase. That is 13.5% over my 4-year term. And again, I mean, the facts are the facts. That's the one thing you have to like about facts and history, that when they're told, when it's the truth, they don't change, no matter who's telling the story. So that 13.5% over my 4-year term is the largest pay increase proposal in any one term of any Philadelphia mayor for District Council 47 in more than 30 years. So Philadelphia, I know somebody at home who is, not engaged in this on a daily basis is saying, wait a minute, I don't understand. That's the same language that I heard you share when we were talking about AFSCME District Council 33. You are accurate. And so when you hear me say that we value our municipal workforce, it is not simply in word. I've been working in government and politics for too long, right? You can't simply listen to what people say. It is true. You have to watch what they do. And I am so proud, Philadelphia, that in a very meaningful way, we have offered significant contracts for both AFSCME affiliates in 33 and 47. What else does the 47 agreement include? It's a modified longevity schedule. Longevity is being changed from a flat dollar basis to a percent basis to get more money into the pockets of our long-term employees, along with an increase in existing top step value that kicks in 2027. These changes are to recognize the commitment of our long-term employees to a career in public service with the city of Philadelphia. Now, as it relates to health care, so you got that, that's 13.5%. There's a modified longevity schedule, and as it relates to health care, particularly in the context of all of the Philadelphians and Pennsylvanians who we know are going to be impacted by legislative initiatives being proffered at the federal level. I'm proud to let you know that the city has agreed to increase the percentage paid of the cost of District Council 47's health care claims from 91% to 92%. So that is an increase. The city was responsible for paying 91%, and we have now increased that to 92% in this agreement, and that's to support their health care. That deserves a round of applause. Again, to our residents, I'm going to ask that you please give us grace as all of our hardworking city employees and members of two very proud AFSCME district councils. They deliver for all of the citizens in our city. As I said last week, we will get every city service that experienced any kind of disruption back to normal as soon as humanly possible. And ultimately, the goal, it doesn't change. The vision doesn't change. It is still to make Philadelphia the safest, cleanest, greenest big city in the nation with access to economic opportunity for all. Chief Deputy Mayor Sincere Harris, any words?
Good morning. Briefly, first we want to thank and acknowledge District Council 47's Executive Board President April Jagetz, Jesse Jordan, President of Local 2187, and Jennifer Reed, President of Local 2186. Also, as the mayor said, special shout out to the entire negotiation team, but especially to Carla Haney, who runs the Employee and Labor Relations Division in the Department of Labor, Lauren Fox, our outside counsel, Candy Jones, Kat Lamb, and Dr. Pollack, who did a lot of the brunt of the work, a lot of the legwork in getting this tentative agreement. DC 47 represents an important, crucial part of our workforce, from social workers and DHS and the Office of Homeless Services and prisons and health and DBIDS, behavioral health. They also run our summer camp programs, and they are supervisors in departments across the city, in addition to manning the free library. The city worked closely with DC 47 to come to this agreement that allows continued growth, career and economic growth. It incentivizes, as the mayor talked about with the addition to the fifth step and the longevity change, this incentivizes a long-term commitment to being a city employee. So that rewards the workers who stay here 5, 10, 15 years. We are investing in them in a significant way. It broadens access to mediation for grievances, and it also critically provides additional security for their health and welfare funding. Again, moving to that from that 91% to 92% was an important and significant investment on the city's end. But what we outlined today is just a part of the continued investment that the city is committed to for DC 47 employees, but all of our workforce, DC 33, our police and fire. When we come to these agreements, it's a moment in time, but it's just a snapshot of all of the investments that the department, that the chief, that CAO and OHR are doing to make sure that we can attract talent and keep talent here, because we know how important our workforce is. We can't deliver any critical services without the men and women of DC 47 and all of our employees in the city of Philadelphia. With that said, we look forward to our continued progress in our working relationship with AFSCME District Council 47, and I'm going to bring back Mayor Parker, and we'll open up for questions.
You sure? Okay. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, I didn't. Fallon, okay. Fallon, I'm gonna get you. No, we've been, as with all of the unions, I don't care if we're talking about 33 or 47, police and fire. I don't want you to think that the intensity associated with the negotiations and what we saw, evolve over the past 2 weeks, like that is the body of work. These have been ongoing conversations that the labor team has had over multiple meetings. I'm talking about since last year. And in many instances, since we had the 1-year extension, because remember, we start by having to work with our municipal unions to say, hey, we've just arrived. Let us get through our first budget process. Are you willing to engage in a 1-year extension with us? And then we'll get to our multi-year. So I never viewed the process as stopping and then starting again, because what we didn't get accomplished during the extension, that you still had to continue those meaningful discussions. But again, every discussion you have, it has to be costed out. So when you hear us call up Kat Lamb, and you hear me reference Rob DeBoe, finance director, and then Sabrina Maynard, our budget director, all of it has to be captured within the city's 5-year plan, right, which has to be approved by PICA. So none of this is in isolation, Philadelphia. It's all a part of a larger equation in long term sort of thinking. The way a friend of mine describes it to me is that you can't have a turtle view. You have to have a giraffe level view, and you have to be able to see the field and see the 5-year plan, and how do you balance all of the competing interests and, quite frankly, crises that we have here in the city of Philadelphia, doing right by the people who keep the city moving, but then thinking about public health and safety, opioid crisis, education. I mean, it's so many, housing crisis, so many different challenges. I mean, in the city, I'm thinking about, when I think about you all, you know, I think about the crises that we've had to respond to, Tiffany, in the midst of these negotiations. When I think about Chief of Staff Tiffany Thurman's portfolio, so, you know, not only does she has a bucket, right, that's our labor negotiations, but then there's a plane crash, and then there's a deadly explosion, and then we're increasing the amount of city tax revenue, 1.5%. And I've only been here for 18 months to the school district of Philadelphia. It's a housing plan, $2 billion investment. So we've been juggling it. I mean, you don't think about it when you've just been doing it, right? We've just been doing it. Managing Director Teal and the MDO's team, along with health. I'm looking at my Crystal, having NACO here, and them going to see Riverview, walking into Riverview Wellness Center and saying, wow, Philadelphia has just established the model. This is what we should be doing in our own respective counties. But when you're doing it, for this team, all they know, they hear the mayor pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. But listen to the commissioner. He's talking GTY, get to yes. So that's what we've been doing, Fallon. Don't think that what we've just seen, like here, that this is it. We've been having concrete, discussions. So I'm really pleased about it. Yes. Total value of the package.
So our estimate is that it will cost $92 million over 5 years.
So somebody somewhere, somehow, is counting, and they're saying, we remember that $115 million number for the cost and value of District Council 33's package. And now you've just affirmed District Council 47's package as $92 million. I just want to be clear that while you may see a salary increase that is higher for one union, there are some other very valuable tools that you just heard me walk through that are extremely important to the 47 workforce. Huh? And this, Vanessa, and their salary's higher. Yeah, somebody else had their hand. Yes. Three more to go.
Right. So, as you said, $550 million in our labor reserve. So far, we've used about $200 million of that up, and we will continue to monitor how the agreements compare to our reserve to see where we are.
But again, this is when, and let me just say it now and just put it out in the ecosystem. If Sherelle Parker, the lifelong Philadelphian, had her way, I give everybody 10% across the board for every year, right? However, look at Sincere Ray. Oh, my Jesus, you had to hear Rebecca. She's calling on Jesus behind me. That's what Sherelle would do. But Sherelle also, and Mayor Parker, pays attention to what we are seeing happen at the federal level right now. Looking at the number of long-term federal employees who go to work one day and wake up the next morning and their jobs are gone. And so when people say so simply and easily that we should just be able to increase the wage across the board, yeah, you could. I could do it, but then you say, okay, we can do it, but now we're going to have to lay off half the workforce. That's not an option for me. We will not lay off members of our valuable city workforce because we have an agenda, and you can't enact safe, clean, and green and economic opportunity for all without all of the men and women who make up the municipal workforce. So if you want to know what choices, Sherelle Parker, you had to make as mayor of the city of Philadelphia, do we not live within our means and do what some previous mayors have done? Let me say that too. And make a politically expedient decision that will be comfortable for the mayor. Everyone will be happy. No one will be upset. Just give the shop away and then half the labor force. That wasn't an option for me. I refuse to join the club of the mayors who made politically expedient decisions when it came to labor negotiations to ensure their reelection, but they walked Philadelphia to the bridge of bankruptcy. And I'm not going to be that kind of mayor. The PFT negotiates with the school district of Philadelphia, and obviously my commitment to public education, again, is not just in word. First of all, there's a history. That's the great thing about having a body of work. You can have an opinion, but the facts are the facts. Sherelle Parker, the mayor, has been delivering for public education since before I arrived here as a member of council or the mayor during my tenure in Harrisburg, when we had weeks before Dr. Height said that the school district wouldn't open if we didn't get a new recurring revenue source to fill an over $300 million plus structural deficit that the school district was facing down. So we delivered with the sales tax, and also that language, Rob, that helped to put the municipal pension fund, on a path to being stable and fully funded. But then there was the cigarette tax. And then when we become the mayor of the city of Philadelphia, imagine this. While we conduct the financial analysis while I'm on the campaign trail, it becomes very clear that the city of Philadelphia, in my opinion, should increase the portion of its revenue dedicated to public education. Imagine me saying it on the trail and then getting elected and doing it. Sounds pretty weird, huh? But we did, 1.5% increase, and I've been here for 18 months. So our commitment, my commitment to our teachers and to public education in the city of Philadelphia, that's etched in stone. And I know that they will do the best that they can, working in partnership with the school district of Philadelphia to get to yes. As it relates to police and fire, and I'm forgetting it, steel workers and prisons, the $550 million labor reserve that this administration, my administration, proposed when we sent our budget for consideration to the City Council of Philadelphia, that was the largest labor reserve ever proffered by any mayor over the last 30 years here in the city of Philadelphia. Why was that number and that dollar value important to you, Mayor? Because I wanted to be transparent. No tricky math, right? No gimmicks here. I want you to see what we have allocated here in the city of Philadelphia to make sure we take care of our municipal workforce in the midst of these negotiations. This is also an example for you. It's funny, I'm thinking about those, and I want you to, and this is where people in the city of Philadelphia, before you give somebody a round of applause, you have to think about what they're saying. I want you to think about the budget we proffered. And the business tax cuts, $210 million, $210 million in business tax cuts. After we took the Tax Reform Commission's recommendations and figured out what we could do and what we could afford, there were people who said we need $230 million more in business tax cuts. So wait, you want $230 million more in business tax cuts? You want the 0.5% of an increase in revenue going to the school district of Philadelphia to happen now? We were having conversations about some parking ideas. You want to do that now? You say yes that I can get everything done when you are in people-pleasing mode, round of applause mode. So, while people were in people-pleasing mode, I had to be in leadership mode, trying to figure out how to get it done. When other people were polling about the next election in the middle of a strike, while they were polling, thinking about an election, I was thinking about leading. I don't apologize, Philadelphia. That's who I am. That's who you elected mayor. It's tough, really tough. But we do what we need to do right by our municipal workforce, because they keep the city of Philadelphia running, and I don't value them simply in word. I value them in deed. $550 million, the two historic agreements with 33 and 47 that are on the table, and we continue to have conversations with the four unions that you just heard us reference. I think, is it one more and that's it? No, listen, Philadelphia, you gave me the honor of a lifetime to serve as your mayor. And that means even during uncomfortable times. But when you ask for the privilege of leading, you have to take everything that comes along with that leadership. And, I come up on the rough side of the mountain, so you've never heard me complain. When you're not born with a silver spoon in your mouth and you've had to earn your seat at every table you've been a part of, you do what is necessary, and there is nothing that anyone is ever going to be able to do to not make me as mayor make the fiscal health and stability of the city of Philadelphia number one. Thank you all for being here.